Hey everyone, it's Barbara. Today I'm going to show you how I did the background on this card and also how to construct the card and this sweet little witch's hat treat box. To start with, I'm using some watercolor paper, the scattered Bars Stencil from My Favorite Things, some orange fizz ink, steel gray ink, sour apple ink, and grape jelly ink. I'm also using a water brush with sort of a fine tip. The first thing I'm going to do is, as always, tape my watercolor paper and my stencil down to my craft sheet so they don't move while I'm working. And then I'm going to take my water brush and my first ink. Doesn't matter which one you start with. And I just paint the ink in randomly. Just anywhere, as long as I kind of spread them out a little bit. I'm using the water brush, but I don't squeeze the water brush as much as I would do if I were doing a watercolor wash. Just need a little bit of water to pick that ink up. So I'm filling in with the grape jelly right now, just randomly here and there on each column of bars. Then I wash my brush out and move on to another ink. I'm using steel gray now. Again, just filling in randomly with kind of keeping an eye on where I'm putting them so that I don't have a lot of one color right together in one spot. But still very randomly. I love backgrounds with multiple colors, and this stencil really gives me great opportunity to do that. Okay, now I'm on to sour apple, filling in some more spaces. It's really just up to you where you put each color, but I just try to spread them out. And now on to the last color, which is orange fizz. Filling in most of the remaining open spaces. If some of them kind of overlap a little bit, that's not a problem. It actually, I think, adds to the look to have them kind of blend a little bit. So as you can see, I have a little space at the bottom that's not covered because the stencil doesn't quite fill in all the way down. So I'm cleaning my stencil off so I don't get any smudges anywhere. And that's a little cat hair there. Don't know where that came from. And now I'm moving my stencil down a little further, trying to line up the existing colors, but it doesn't have to be perfect because obviously having done all those randomly, it gives you a little leeway in how you apply them. So I'm just filling in that last little strip at the bottom with the same four colors. Be sure to rinse out your water brush between colors, even though it doesn't really matter if they overlap a little bit. You don't want to mix your colors because it will be muddy looking. And there you go. That part's finished. I like to clean my mat off because I don't want any stray ink on anything else as I move along in the card. I also like to flick just a little bit of clear water to make some little puddles on some of those bars. I'm going to set that aside now to dry, hopefully, while I show you some more about the card. Okay, this is black licorice cardstock. Top fold. I have already embossed with embossing paste Starry Night Stencil on one side of it, and I've also colored my little witch. I stamped her on Express It blending card with black licorice hybrid ink and colored her with Copic markers. And now I'm having to dry my watercolor in a little bit. Those drops of water are not quite dry. Almost. Okay. So now I'm going to trim off about 1 inch of one side, and I'm going to hang on to that because I can use that on another card. I'm going to pop it up on the black licorice cardstock base with some foam tape. And put that on, leaving the stars exposed. And now I'm going to do the same with the little witch. The witch is from the Birdie Brown set, Which Way is the Candy? And I'm just going to apply that to kind of cover both edges there. And I think I need an extra piece under the broom, so I'm just going to slip that up under there with my tweezers. Now for the sentiment. It's from the same set, and I'm going to stamp it with more black licorice hybrid ink on a little strip of Sweet Tooth cardstock. And I'm just measuring to see how much I want to trim off, where it's going to be. I think a little more off the other end. Yeah, and now I'm going to pop that up on foam as well. And of course I'll need 2 layers of foam on the side beside the little witch, one right on top of her, so that my little sentiment strip will be even. And that's it for the card. Isn't she adorable? Okay, now I'm going to show you how to think out of the box with some of your dynamics. I am using the cone Treat Box Die-namics to make the top of the witch's hat. For the brim, I'm using STAX Set 2 Die-namics, and I've already cut that out, scored it, and folded it, and put some score tape on it. So I'm just going to adhere the side so that the box will be formed, and that's kind of how it's going to go. So you put your treat in, and you close the little flaps, overlapping them, alternating, so they'll stay closed. And I usually use hot glue to do this kind of thing with that, but I'm going to try a big old glue dot this time and see if that works. So this is an experiment you will see in action. So I'm putting that in the center, and let's see. I'm not liking it. Nah, it's wobbly. Okay, now we know. We will use hot glue for this. So I'm just going to put that right down in the center of my circle and hold it a little bit until it sets up. Yeah, that's tighter to the brim. Now you'll see those little pieces of score tape around there. I'm going to put my baker's twine around, and I knew that if I just tried to tie it around the base of that cone, that it was just going to slip up. So I put some 1/8 inch score tape all the way around, and I'm just going to adhere my baker's twine to it so it will stay in place. I have 3 colors there to match the card: orange, green, and purple. And I'm just wrapping it around and making sure that it's really secure to the score tape. Last side, and now I'm going to tie it in a little bow. I just love this little witch's hat. I think it is so cute. And I'm just going to adjust my bow and trim the ends. And it'll be done. Isn't that adorable? And there it is with the card. Thanks so much for watching.